So I just came from a shiva. A woman, mother, that lost her 30-year-old son to drug overdose. And it's very sad. And I sat next to her, to comfort the mourners as the mitzvah is. And she just, breaks down and cries. She's been doing a lot of that, understandably. Not, I'll say not only it's her child, but it was actually her only child. Her husband passed away a year or two ago, and now her son. So very sad. And she's very pained, to say the least. So, and she looks up at me, crying, and says, how can I go on? It's really tough. That is really tough. What do you say to such a person? How do you go on? So first, you know, my first response was just feeling her pain and not saying anything. Just feeling her pain and just sitting there and taking it in. Because the truth is, what could you say? And then I proceeded, I don't know if it was the right timing or not, but I figured I probably not going to get another chance. But the truth is, I don't know. I'm really not connected with her. Um, I know someone else in the family that's how I came. Um, so you know, mulling it over now, I was thinking that maybe sometimes just to hear and just to feel the pain and just say nothing sometimes could be the best and most appropriate response. But I think saying something might. I felt that I should say something that might be a seed at least be planted. How much will grow now? It's questionable, but maybe in time it will. And that, as I said, that, it's not over. It's not, it's, that's the end. And it's not over. It's just now different because the soul lives on. Now, of course, we want a soul in a body. That's what, well, how we want to have the relationship, which is, very understandable because we're physical minded people. We're not righteous that we're attuned to our soul. We are physical and attuned to our physical reality. But the truth is, the fact is that we have a soul and the soul continues to live. And your son is still your son and you're still his mother. You're still his mother. Yes, it's with pain, with great pain, as a matter of fact. But as the Kotzker Rebbe said, it's nothing more whole than a broken heart. So in the brokenness, you will have the wholeness of your son's soul. Merely a soul, not a soul and a body. Painful it will be, but the soul is alive. So it's just been a transition. His soul's here right now. And it makes it a little more difficult for us because being physically minded people, we need to be more attuned to our soul in order to connect. Hmm. So, that was the gist of what I said. Um, those around paid very, close attention. She also did, you know, again, I'm not certain. Um, Sometimes it's better just not to say anything, but I wanted, to at least get the message about the soul that it still is. You're still a mom, and you can still take care of them. Um, so at least, planting that notion. Hopefully, hopefully it was comforting now. I hope at least it'll be a seed that will maybe take root, and the notion, the idea will kind of evolve, and she'll have some kind of solace from that. I didn't say the following, which I wouldn't say it now, but it is something also very important. It's actually something based on what the Rebbe has said in times of painful tragedy. Um, and where he said it specifically was 1956. It was a terrorist attack that in Kfar Chabad, and 5 students and their teacher were murdered. Um, this is devastating for the entire village in Israel. Chabad, Kfar Chabad, the Chabad um, town. And the Rebbe, was very pained by it. And I think it was before Shabbos. It happened a few days before Shabbos. Before Shabbos, he wrote to them, sent a telegram that through building, you you will be comforted. Through building, you'll be comforted. In other words, build a community, and that will bring you comfort. And I was saying, of speaking to a community as opposed to an individual mother or father that had lost, or a person that has lost someone. Speaking to a community, but I think it's very apropos, especially what's going on in Israel today. You know, still in the midst of war and lots of loss, and ultimately, just to tie in the first thought that just to tie in the first thought of the soul that is eternal, still very much present. So by building, you're first of all helping that soul that departed, because it becomes the catalyst for the building that you're doing, the growth that you're bringing to a community, and for yourself, that you're busy doing something because of the loss. So the emptiness now brings about, is a springboard for so much more good to be done. That's the real truth. And that's the real answer. Now, I wouldn't say that to this woman, because it just wasn't the right time for it. Not in the time of broken hearts, you're going to speak about building, or doing something for your son. Like, doing something for him, doing something in his memory, uh, whatever it is. Just, that for sure is not the time, because you can't start with that. In any case, in the middle of Shiva. But the true comfort that comes from loss is that you do more because of it. You become more, you do more. More importantly, you do more. So, first of all, you're helping that soul. And secondly, it's a real statement that we make that God is good and everything is from God is good, even though it doesn't feel good. Because it's good doesn't mean it has to feel good. It can be very painful. That doesn't mean it's not good. So by recognizing that this is from God and the soul is eternal, and you're still connected, you're still the mother to your son, And just as you did in life, everything for your child. So now you continue and do everything for them too. Build, build, do something that becomes, oh, wow. In his name, look what was accomplished. So the loss is not in vain. It's not in vain. Something wonderful came out, whatever it is, right? You built a whole new hospital. You built a whole new Chabad house. You built a, or whatever. You started a new program in the Chabad, in a, in a Chabad lifeline, whatever it is. Yeah. Shalom now from joyous times. And build, enjoy. Right. As King David, the psalmist, says, that we sow with tears and reap with joy. So, yeah. And those are my thoughts. All right.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen.
All right.
Thank
Be
you.
well. Thank you. Bye bye. Bye bye.